Welcome everyone to today's session of webinar entitled Process Improvement and Innovation Using Six Sigma. All right, so let's get back to our business. Allow me to introduce our esteemed speaker for this session with a BS in psychology, MA and PhD in clinical psychology, and Masters in development management with certificate course of project management at Wharton School of Economics, University of Pennsylvania, USA. She has a wealth of knowledge about individual, group, and organizational behavior. For the past 30 years, she has engaged individuals and organizations in the change process to increase their productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness to include the training of strategic business plan programs, develop leadership skills, and build self-mastery. She uses a system approach in working with individuals and organizations. Some of her certifications includes Project Management Professional, given by the Project Management Institute, International Quality Federation of USA Certified Six Sigma Black Belt, and Institute of Six Sigma Learning Certified Six Sigma Black Belt Professional Membership, which includes the following: Project Management Institute, International Quality Federation of USA, Institute of Sigma Learning, and American Society for Quality. She is an internationally recognized management and HRD consultant. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Flor M. Buenos, our speaker for this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Ms. Clara,
You're
for a very long introduction. I hope it can be one-liner only. Eventually. Thank you also, everybody, for participating in this webinar. And I hope to share to you some of the tidbits on how we can improve and innovate productivity using Six Sigma. So I'd like to give to you the background with regards to what this particular technique or tool in using process improvement or innovation, including at the end of the day, it's about productivity. The history of Six Sigma starts from Motorola. Because nowadays, Motorola seems not to be part of the cellular phone industry already. But then again, they were the one who started the Six Sigma. It was because of the president then at the time of the Motorola, Bob Gavin, as a friend, Harvard University professor that provided assistance to Motorola on improving their production and also innovating their production. So I hope this can become a business management tool or strategy or methodology so that we will be able to solve problems with regards to improvement and with regards to innovation. Sometimes improvement and innovation can be just an abstract word. So how to do it, how to really improve, how to really innovate, Six Sigma can be a very good tool because it is something that we can measure, anything that we can measure, anything that can be quantifiable. The different tools and techniques under Six Sigma is measurable. We say that if we cannot measure, we cannot control. And if we cannot control, therefore we cannot manage. So the purpose of this particular tool and techniques is for us to help also the company in terms of cost savings. Our mandate is cost savings because after all, profit is derived from revenue and savings. So hopefully we will be able to also contribute in terms of cost savings by instituting or implementing the different tools and techniques in Six Sigma. They say that in Toyota, we get brilliant results from average people managing a brilliant process. Others get average results from brilliant people managing broken processes. So it doesn't take a genius for us to have a very good or excellent processes to improve productivity and to innovate. Well, that's the way we fight in business. So uh, there are two problem solving techniques that we are espousing in the Six Sigma, in the application of Six Sigma. One is about improvement, and the other one is innovation. So, for example, the processes are existing and it can be improved. You will just have to remove several causes or problems, and you need to do the problem solving of this improvement. So we use the make. We use that particular acronym: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So we need to really make a decision on whether a particular process is still possible. It's just a matter of improving it. If, for example, there will be a decision that a certain process or processes are already obsolete and it's not anymore needed, we will use the problem-solving technique of innovation, which we call as the MAB. So we will start first with define, measure, analyze. The difference is that in the last two different phases, we will have the design and the verification. So we have to make a decision on whether a certain process or processes are already not anymore needed. Then therefore, we need to innovate. We need to do some kind of design. And then if that particular design is good enough, then you need to verify whether it is applicable in the operations. So all Six Sigma are considered to be projects. There is a start and finish. It is not part of the operations yet. You have to convince people in the operations that what you are improving and what you are innovating is really very, very important, is value added to your businesses. So these are the two problem-solving techniques that we can share to you in Six Sigma. Using Six Sigma in terms of productivity improvement and innovation. The tools and techniques are not so really um, something that you do not know. It is many of the tools and techniques are actually very, very familiar to each and every one of us. So, for example, we will focus on productivity improvement. So, we will have different phases, the five different phases. We will start first, quite similar to that of thesis. We need to define what's the problem. So we start first with what's the problem, and we need to dissect exactly what this problem is all about. Will this particular problem really matters to your operations? Will it improve? Will it also innovate your particular processes? So we have so many different tools and techniques that we can use. Number one, of course, in terms of definition. As we said, Six Sigma is a project management kind of activity. So we need to know exactly the project charter. When we talk about projects, we are bounded by the scope, by the cost, as well as by the time. And so we need to paraphrase, we need to be very sure the kind of statement of the problem, because there are so many different problems around the world. We need to really evaluate whether this problem is worthy of resolving. So we have to come up with a project pattern where we will indicate the business case or the justification of the problem and why are we going to improve on that particular processes or certain activity in your businesses. So we will use the scope, And then, of course, when we talk about the cost, this is not anymore something that you look for a budget. There is already a budget. The assumption is whenever we start Six Sigma, it's not anymore a feasibility study. There is already a decision on the part of the management that they will have a budget for this. So the cost will encompass the 5 different resources. We need to mobilize man, money, machine, materials, and method. So we will have to include that as part of the top sheet in doing the project charter. And finally, of course, the only thing that we can manage in a project is, of course, the time, the start and the finish. So there should always be a time-bound period in any kind of Six Sigma project. There will be a start and finish, and usually it should be completed within 3 months. If it is, for example, for purposes of innovation, it will take some kind of parallel testing or experimentation. So it will take some time for us to be able to have verification because the last portion in the innovation phase is verification. So we come up with a project charter, uh, complete with the scope of work, the goal, the aims, the business case, the justification, the rationale on why you are doing that particular improvement on the procedures or processes. And we have to also indicate the kind of resources that we are going to use, assuming, of course, that you already have a budget under the cost. And of course, we will need to also indicate the schedule, which is about the time. So finally, we need also to identify people who will be part of the project. So they can be team members. The first thing that we should do is to appoint a project manager. The start of any kind of project is the appointment of a project manager, whoever that might be. So in the define phase, we need to also know the voice of the customer. If you're in business, naturally, the voice of the customer, we call that in a matrix as copies. Copies. That's customer, output, procedure, or processes, input, and supplier. Inversely, if you wanted to also know the voice of the business, you have to do this tool of CPOC, which is supplier, input, process, output, and then finally the customer. So in the definition phase, we need to do this due diligence of knowing exactly the voices of the customer by doing this matrix. So we have to also conduct different value stream mapping. Whatever process mapping that we wanted to also apply is also part of the tools and techniques. There are, of course, so many different tools and techniques. It is up to the practitioner on what particular tools and techniques are applicable for purposes of improving and for purposes. So you have to deliberate, you have to make a decision on what particular tools or techniques for every phases that you're supposed to use. So assuming, for example, that we have already defined the kind of problem, the kind of gap or variance that you need to correct for you to be able to improve, we now go into the next phase, which is the measurement. As we said, when we apply Six Sigma, if we cannot measure, we cannot control. And if we cannot control, we cannot therefore manage. So it's very, very important. Six Sigma, as the word in itself, this is a statistics of standard deviation. So this is a standard deviation. In fact, among all the different quality management systems, we have to also use different measurement analysis system. In statistics, what are the different measurement systems? We start first, of course, with the data, getting all the data. This is database, and the data should at least have a minimum of at least 3 days, 3 weeks. The rule of thumb is three. There should always be a pattern. To a maximum of perhaps 3 years. So in the measurement using statistics, We have to average. We get the average. We get the mean, the median, the mode. We have to also use standard deviation so that we know what exactly are acceptable and not acceptable to the customer. There's nothing is perfect in this world, so there is no such thing as perfection. So that's the reason why in Six Sigma we allow margin of error of 3.4 defects per million of opportunity. So that means 99.99997. Okay? So we are allowing mistakes of only at least 3.4 defects per million of opportunity. We have an abstract table by which you can look into level of sigma. So it's available in the internet. Perhaps when we discuss this, we will have full discussion about these things on December 6 and 7. And I hope to invite you, everybody, to please come over to PIMA because I will be discussing all of these things and you will have also workshop application. We say that I hear, I forget. I see, I might remember, but when I do, I will be able to understand. And when you understand, you will also be able to apply. Even little application of the tools and techniques under Six Sigma will assure you of improvement, will assure you also of innovation. So I hope that you will be capacitated with the different tools and techniques. As of the last counting, we have 79 tools and techniques under Six Sigma. So I hope that I can share to you. We will have a workbook on this one, and we will have so many different workshops. So we will be using, please don't be afraid about math. This is just statistics. So very easy. In statistics, every number has a meaning, has a reason. So if there is averaging, that would mean to say that this is what everybody feels. This is the middle of the data. When we say mean, when we say median, when we say mode, almost the same meaning, but this is the average. And we will get, of course, the standard deviation by using a simple formula. We will be also using different uh, measurement systems analysis that are very easy to understand. So we will be using that and many of the different process mapping so that we will identify exactly at what activity where probably the variance is or the gaps or problems happen. Because there is no such thing as really perfect activity or always there will be. But in Six Sigma, these mistakes can be corrected before it can become a product. So that means to say, we will not have any more problems with regards to the work, with regards to being returned, no? And we will have very good product or quality of not only products and services. Assuming that we have already measured everything and we said that the cause of the problem is this one because of the measurement, we will do analysis. This is mid-phase analysis phase. We have so many different root cause analysis. We have the SWOT. No? Many of you are familiar with SWOT, the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunities and threats. And we do not stop with identifying the strength. We have to translate that into those. So the threats has to be translated into opportunities. The weaknesses has to be translated into strengths. We also have force field analysis. Force field analysis are plus and negative. So who or what are the one that supports or help and who or one that probably hinders or contradicts our different activities. Never start a problem without necessarily getting 100% support. Because one particular negative thing if the project is already starting, you will have very, very difficult thing to handle. So in the analysis phase, know exactly what particular resources have a problem. We have 5 resources: man, money, machine, materials, and method. If, for example, there's a problem with the man, try to solve the problem about the man. If, for example, you have a problem in terms of material, you have to focus your solution on that particular resource. If there is a need for methodology or method, which is what Six Sigma is all about, espousing the different methodologies, systems, procedures, or processes, then we need to attend to that. If, for example, there is a problem in money, then we need to also attend to that in terms of improvement or innovation. And if, for example, man, money, machine, materials, method, all of these things has to be resolved for you to be able to improve. So there are a lot of different ways by which you will be able to really analyze this problem. Since this is a team effort, we need to really brainstorm. So have everybody join around and discuss these things so that they will be able to also share their ideas. We have affinity diagram as a kind of tool in doing brainstorming. This is just a matter of categorization. We have also one of the most probably important and critical tool that we should be able to also apply is FEMEA. This is failure mode effect analysis. This is so easy to do. It's just a matter of matrix. This is a kind of risk management. So what are the possible failures? So as a team, we need to understand what are the possible failures that can happen in your particular project for purposes of improvement or for purposes of innovation. Say, for example, here in the Philippines, we have a typhoon. No? The mode is, of course, 21 times per year. So it can also probably, this is just an example of possible failure that can happen, and therefore we need to anticipate on that particular risk or threat. So we will have to also define on the analysis based on whether there is severity, how many times did this occur, occurrence, and detectability. So there is a multiplication for that. S times O times times D is equals to divided by 3. So this is one of the most powerful tools and techniques under Six Sigma. Assuming, of course, that we have done already the due diligence of analysis, now we will go into improvement. And if we wanted to also innovate, this is another phase. Therefore, we need to design new processes or procedures. So under improvement, of course, well, you can show that there is an improvement through perhaps showing it by process mapping, value stream mapping. The as is, the current today, and then the to be. The middle, of course, is especially important because we need to make some kind of changes. And we have to also include OD, organizational development. So there are so many different tools and techniques under improvement as given in my slide. And I hope that we will be discussing that in details in the program of PIMA. So I hope to invite you again. Let me invite you please to come over on December 6 and 7 because we will be discussing and doing the workshop of all of these different tools and techniques. And finally, of course, if you have already provided the improvement and you tested it already, we need to stabilize. Okay? This is not something that you have to do only once. You have to ensure sustainability and stability that it can be adapted in your own particular business. So how do you do that? Well, you have to have a training plan, control plan. This is just a matter of checklist. You have to tell your people to also improve on their skills, knowledge, the attitude, the skills, as well as the habits. You have to communicate So there are a lot of different ways by which you will be able to have audit. So that's part of the control. From time to time, you have to visit on whether they are complying. And then you have to convince finally that this is good for the business by talking to the operations, talking to the management to please allow and approve, showing graphs, showing the results of your Six Sigma project. So it's a matter of really convincing people. You have to sell the idea to top management that this can save cost for the company, that it can improve the procedures, the processes, that it can innovate, that it can help the company uh, think the other way. So that's the way to fight businesses. It's innovation and improvement. And in my practice of Six Sigma for more than, I think, since 1995. Mhm. Yes. So, yes, it started in 1992 in Motorola. Actually, I was sent by the government in the States to acquire this different knowledge. I used to belong to the Development Academy of the Philippines. Our mandate is capability and capacity building. So we propagate this one because this can make things happen. This can provide you results. This is something that is not abstract when we talk about improvement or innovation. It is a real thing. If you capacitate your people to have this Six Sigma, and then it will be supported by the champion. So the secret of success is really get the champion. And usually the champion is the decision maker. Probably your president, your CEO, or the chairman of the board, whoever that person, whatever he or her position title is, get a champion. Because that's the only way that we can probably be able to implement. It will take you a good number of years if it's bottoms up. It has to be top down. You need a champion. And you need also a teacher for you to be capacitated. That's the purpose of Master Black Belt. So Master Black Belt are usually practitioners who have been doing this particular program on a full-time basis for more than 10 years. And he or she was able to show that he was able to save costs for the company for 10 times. So there should be a project where the MBB, we call the Master Black Belt as MBB. I am MBB. Karate Do. It's not Karate Do. It's what the proponent of this Six Sigma, which is the friend of Bob Gavin, a professor from University of Harvard. It's actually a statistics professor. So who helped him overcome the problem on the business of Motorola. So Master Black Belt are considered to be gurus or teacher who can share the tools and techniques, who can be a testimonial that he or she was able to save costs for the company. And the next level is the Black Belt. The Black Belt are Six Sigma practitioners for more than 10 years also. Okay? The difference is that the project may be less than that of the Master Black Belt. Probably 4 or even more. The thing is, they are almost quite the same. It's just that the Master Black Belt are full-time teachers already. The Black Belt are practitioners. They are the one who, whatever the position title may be, some different companies has different position titles. Probably director of quality for this particular practitioner. And the one that is considered to be the basic practitioner is the green belt. The green belt is the one who attended because as of today, there is no particular organization that can accredit only a master black belt and accredit. Unlike in project management, there is an organization which I also belong, and I wish that what is important is that you will be capacitated with the different tools and techniques to be able to make improvement and to make innovation. So below the green belt are the support team. These are the people who will be part of the team, who will become team members, who will also share and brainstorm, but the tools and techniques will be provided by the green belt practitioners. So here on the left side, if you will notice, is the problem-solving strategy of define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. About 95%, more or less, is about process of productivity improvement in many cases. This is just my opinion, not supported yet by studies, but many are into improvement. Why do you have to reinvent the wheel when the wheel is still working? It's just a matter of improvement, isn't it? So we believe in that particular, no, why do you have to reinvent? But the thing is, if you make a decision to make reinvention or innovation, so that's the time that you will use MAB. So the same three phases, define, measure, analyze. The difference is that under improvement and control, you need to design. Design, that means to say you create or establish, and then you verify. What you have designed, is it working? So that's the difference. The last two phases, that's where innovation matters. The design and then the verification. So for that, I hope I gave you the tip of the iceberg.
All right, thank you, Ms. Flor, for that very informative discussion. Now we're open for discussion and questions. So on your rightmost, you will see a box there that is an empty box, so you can write down questions if you want to answer, if you want to be addressed by Ms. Flor to know that. So just to start off, Ms. Flor, you have reiterated that the result of Six Sigma or the process improvement will really highly affect the efficiency, especially most of the time in the cost saving process, wherein most of the companies have already cited or attest that Six Sigma really improves their processes. But aside from that, what is the most essential part, most important part that Six Sigma contributed to the company?
Because there are so many wastages that are happening. If you are doing business and you keep on doing a lot of rework, doing a lot of inventory, so that means to say you're losing. So that there is a need to really solve the problem. And the solution of the problem is Six Sigma, because it can provide you with all the tools and techniques that can solve the problem. It's not a matter of perhaps telling people that we need to solve. You have to tell them also, you have to also help them how to solve it. And this is the method for that.
All right. So I have here a question. What is the difference between Six Sigma and Kaizen?
Kaizen is continuous improvement, which is also part of the tools and techniques that we do in Six Sigma. So Six Sigma encompasses many of the quality tools and techniques. It's just that we need to measure it.
Yes.
Everything that we do should be at what level are we improving?
As you mentioned earlier that there are 7 tools and techniques that are present within the scope of Six Sigma. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So as the discussion is going, Kaizen is part of it.
Yes. So Kaizen is a Japanese word for continuous improvement, but the thing is, at what level are you improving? So we have 2 Sigma, 3 Sigma. Are you going to hit 6 Sigma? So you need to know that at what level are you improving, and Six Sigma can provide that. measurement.
Yeah, and then you've mentioned before that it's also kind of 360. When you start a measurement, when you start the measurement in a company, but problem solving strategy, we have mentioned that it must be also asked by the customers. You need to see what's there for the customers, what are we solving for the customers, for the employees, for the company.
The customer is really the reason why we have businesses. So many businesses are customer driven. So we need to know exactly what are the requirements by doing, of course, many of the research that we can uh, get from the customer. The customer is always right. We do that through interview, through survey, through focus group discussions. It is basically research and many other different secondary documentation. So we need to know what exactly do they want so that we will be able to improve. In like for example, in training, you do the reaction evaluation, isn't it? So for purposes of what? For purposes of not putting down people, but for purposes of improvement.
And then I have another question here. What institution? There's a question about the institution. Do you recommend for basic Six Sigma training?
We are offering
Yeah,
here
we are
in
offering
People Management Association of the Philippines. Yes, this is the dream of the President, Ms. Michelle, that we also conduct process improvement and process innovation through Six Sigma. And we are now making it a reality. So please come over to team up because we are a professional association that also provides this particular program.
All right. I have a quick question here. What is acceptable error for Six Sigma?
3.4 defects per million of opportunity. So that means to say once every 3 years.
And then another question would be, what is the most effective tool in doing root cause analysis?
Good.
Root cause analysis.
There are so many effective tools and techniques, but I believe the most effective right now is PEMEA, which, if you know how to do it, is a kind of status symbol. Failure mode effect analysis and action. Because you are not only identifying the problem, you will also be providing a solution. It's not enough that we identify the problem, we need to be a solution provider. So it provides in one sheet of paper, in one particular uh, item. You can also immediately see the problem, the priority, and at the same time, what are you going to do? So there are so many different pillars. We have the SWOT, everybody knows about it. SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We have post-field analysis. We have uh, a lot of different root cause analysis. We have in the business, in marketing, Michael Porters. So we can share that during the workshop.
Another question would be, where did the Six Sigma name came from? If you can give us a glimpse of
It's a Greek word of standard variance or standard deviation. It's variance. Variance that means mistakes.
Yes.
It's a symbol of, actually it looks like six. It's a Greek word. Six Sigma, it's part of the statistics.
Okay, thank you for answering that. And then we have another question. What is commonly used in terms of accuracy, empirical or statistical method?
It's statistical. We espouse statistics in Six Sigma. But we will also use empirical when we already measured it. So both can be used, but first it's statistics. We are espousing measurement first.
And then another one, how significant is benchmarking to Six Sigma?
It is very important that we are not well alone. we need to compare from time to time in terms of process. If it is a best practice, well, why not? Copy it. And where you are in terms of your position, process benchmarking, so product benchmarking, there are a lot of benchmarking in terms of comparison. So at least you will be able to know exactly what kind of position you are in terms of a particular benchmark.
Thank you for answering that. And another question is DILO or DILO an effective way in improving productivity?
DILO,
Yes. DILO. This is a question from Rizalene Caranto.
what is DILO? I'm sorry, but I don't know about DILO.
Right.
Please,
Ms. Rizalene, if you're watching, you can type in the whole meaning of DILO for us to address it perfectly. A day in the life of. Thank you, Ms. Rizalene. What is the day in the life OD? An effective way in improving productivity.
that's OD, organizational development.
Yes. Day in the life of an OD.
In the life of an OD. I'm an OD practitioner. And whenever there are changes, there has to be an intervention on how we can make it easy and acceptable to people or process owners. So before you can make a transformation, at the middle, of course, you need organizational development.
Yes. Sorry, thank you for correcting us, Cristoni. Day in the life of an employee. An effective way in improving productivity. That's what they meant. Day in the life of an employee, an effective way in improving productivity.
Well, I use this even in my own personal life. Whether you are an employee or whoever you are, the moment that you wake up, you have to define exactly the many problems, and then you need to prioritize what to do. So this morning, I took tilapia, over that of, because this is my priority. My daughter is telling me she's already full of pork and meat. So she wanted, so this is a priority. This is also what we use in terms of UMEA. So whenever we have certain problems, whether personal or even work related, this is all applicable. The more if you master Six Sigma.
All right, so I have a good question here, Ms. Flor. And the question is, how long does it take them to be a black belt? Black belt.
It will take at least a practice of 10 or more years. As I have said a while ago, being a black belt will require in your work, for example, if you are a consultant, that means to say 100% devotion on that particular program.
All right. Of course, I have another that is quite related to that question. Is this required now in the Philippines for the managers of the company to have at least one certification from Six Sigma? How about in the other countries?
Many companies are requiring that people who will be promoted to managerial position locally, they have to know Six Sigma because that's their function, to improve and to innovate. That's part of leadership, that's part of problem solving. Furthermore, in progressive countries outside of the Philippines, in many different countries, this has been adopted by more than 500 companies all over the world under the Fortune 500. So I think this is, it's not something that you just have to say. It's not something that is abstract. It is a reality if you know how to do it.
All right, thank you for that. So we're now down to our last two questions. And one is, are there any tools, tips that you can recommend to make SWOT analysis easier?
SWOT analysis easier. Please come over. We will teach you how to do it and we will make it easy. Anything that is complex, the genius is in simplicity. So we will teach you. Please come over to Team Up. We are a professional organization since 1956.
All right.
So we will teach you how to do it and make it easy.
Yeah. And the last question, that is quite related to that. What are the most effective tools and techniques we can use to improve our customer service skills? If you can cite an example for that last question.
Since my topic is about Six Sigma, this is the voice of the customer. You should know exactly what they want, what your particular industry wants, and the best way to defining exactly what your customer wants so that they will be happy is Six Sigma. So we have so many different tools and techniques on how to really be able to improve customer service and innovate customer service. So this is applicable in all kinds of industry.
Yeah. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So for now, I'm cutting or I'm ending with this presentation. By the way, Ms. Flores, invite us again on our Six Sigma training.
Yes. So my friends, please come over. I will be conducting productivity improvement and innovation using Six Sigma, a two-day program with PMAP. So this will be on December 6, 7, 2018. So before Christmas, I think you will also be able to apply, even in your own personal life, even during Christmas. You will make your life easier. I guarantee you, you will be more happy if you apply Six Sigma. So please come over and enroll on December 6 and 7.
And it's very timely since most of the companies will start their strategic business planning.
Yes. So what is written in the strategic plan, you can make it happen through Six Sigma.
Of course, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. For further inquiries, you may contact PMAP Center 7261532. And for this presentation, then, it will be sent over to the email that you have provided us for this session. So that will be it. Thank you very much,
Thank you
Ms.
very much
Flor.
also to everybody.